What if I told you that the chaos you're living through right now, the heartbreak, the confusion, the closed doors, are not signs that you're off track, but proof that you're right where you're supposed to be? Let that sit with you for a second. Because when life falls apart, when everything you thought would work out crumbles in front of your eyes, your mind starts to panic. You start asking the questions that keep you up at night. Why is this happening to me? Why now? What did I do wrong? What am I supposed to do next? But what if the silence you're hearing isn't punishment? What if the detours in your life aren't delays, but redirections? What if the broken pieces aren't the end of your story, but the beginning of your transformation? It's hard to believe in something you can't see. I get it, especially when you're drowning in doubt, when you're trying to stay strong, but you're secretly falling apart inside. But I want you to hear this. Just because you can't see the plan doesn't mean there isn't one. Let's get honest for a moment. Have you ever hit a point in your life where nothing made sense anymore? You planned everything out, step by step, only for the floor to fall out from under you. You gave your heart to something, or someone, and it still ended in disappointment. You worked hard, stayed loyal, did everything right, and you still didn't get the outcome you hoped for. It's frustrating, it's heartbreaking, it's exhausting. It feels like being trapped in a maze where every turn leads to a dead end. Like you're running in circles, looking for a sign, any sign, that you're on the right track. But all you get is silence. And in that silence, the fear creeps in. What if I'm never going to get there? What if this pain is pointless? What if I've completely missed my purpose? Let me stop you right there. Just because you can't make sense of it doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. There's a bigger picture being painted with your life, but you're only looking at a single brushstroke right now. You're judging the entire journey based on a painful moment, a rough patch, a setback. But the journey is bigger than one chapter. And the truth is, some of the most meaningful transformations begin in the mess. When everything collapses, that's often when the real story starts. Think about it. What changed you more, your wins or your wounds? What shaped you deeper, the days when everything worked out, or the ones where you had to crawl through the chaos just to survive? I'll bet it's the struggle, because struggle builds something in you that success never could. Clarity often comes after confusion. Growth often comes after grief. Breakthrough often comes after breakdown. That's the paradox of purpose. It often disguises itself as pain. So, if you're in that place right now, confused, lost, hurting, I need you to hear this. This is not the end of your story. It's just the part where the plot twists. You may not be able to make sense of it now, but one day, you'll look back and realize that this season, this confusion, this chapter you wanted to skip, was the one that made you. So, don't rush to escape it. Feel it. Learn from it. Let it shape you. Because in the moments when nothing makes sense, something deeper is forming inside you. That nothing you're in, it might be the womb of your next becoming. There's a kind of pain people don't talk about enough. And that's the pain of silence. The kind of silence where your phone doesn't ring, where your emails go unanswered, where the universe, or life, or God, or whatever you believe in, just goes quiet. You pray, but hear nothing. You hope, but see nothing. You try, but feel like you're pushing against a brick wall. And in that silence, your mind starts playing games with you. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this dream isn't for me. Maybe nothing's ever going to change. But here's what I've learned, and it took me years to realize this. Silence doesn't mean abandonment. It means incubation. Think about it. Seeds grow in silence. Babies grow in silence. Mountains form in silence. The most powerful transformations happen beneath the surface, long before anything is visible to the human eye. You might not see the shift right now, but that doesn't mean the shift isn't happening. You might not hear the answer yet, but that doesn't mean the answer isn't being prepared. There's something sacred about silent seasons, something refining, something essential. They strip you, they slow you down, they force you to face yourself without distractions. You learn to stop performing, you learn to stop people pleasing. You learn to sit with your own thoughts, your own fears, your own truth. And in doing so, you uncover something rare, the strength that doesn't come from applause, but from alignment. But here's the key. You have to stay in the silence long enough to receive the lesson. Most people run, they distract themselves, they numb out, they jump into the next job, the next relationship, the next hustle, just to escape the silence. But the ones who stay, the ones who endure the quiet, they come out different, deeper, stronger, wiser. Because they didn't just survive the silent season, they grew through it. So if you're in that place right now where it feels like the world has gone quiet on you, don't panic. Don't mistake the silence for absence. Don't mistake the pause for punishment. Sometimes the silence is the preparation ground for your next level. You're not forgotten. You're becoming. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. You're not stuck. You're being still, long enough to hear your real voice again. So breathe. Trust the process. Let the silence teach you what noise never could, because one day the silence will break. And when it does, you'll be ready for everything it prepared you for. Let's get real. Life doesn't go according to plan. You didn't plan to be single right now. You didn't plan to lose someone you loved. You didn't plan to feel stuck in a job you hate. You didn't plan for the anxiety, the failure, the breakdown. But here you are. And it's easy to look at all the detours and feel like you're falling behind. But here's a truth that most people miss. The detours are not a mistake. They are part of the design. Every person you met, every door that closed, every opportunity that didn't work out, every no you cried over, they were guiding you, not breaking you. You see, sometimes you have to go the long way around to avoid the destruction that was waiting on the short road. You thought it was rejection, but it was protection. You thought it was a loss, but it was alignment. Sometimes what feels like a dead end is actually a reroute to something better. But here's the key. You have to keep walking, even when the map doesn't make sense, even when the lights go out, even when your knees are shaking and your heart is tired. You keep going, because the plan isn't gone. It's just unfolding in silence. Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked back at a season of your life and thought, oh, that's why that happened? That breakup made space for someone better. That job rejection led you to your dream career. That move you didn't want forced you to grow in ways you never imagined. In the moment, it made no sense. But looking back, it's crystal clear. That's how life works. You don't get the whole picture up front. You're given one piece at a time. It's like building a puzzle without the box. You don't know what the final image is, but each piece matters, even the ones that seem like they don't fit. And that's where trust comes in. Not blind, naive, wishful thinking, but real trust. The kind that says, I don't understand this, but I believe this has purpose. The kind that says, I feel lost, but I'm not giving up. Because sometimes you have to walk by faith, not by sight. And no, that doesn't mean pretending to be strong when you're not. It means being honest and still showing up. You ever been stuck in a waiting room? You don't know when the doctor's coming. You're just sitting there, waiting, wondering, watching other people get called ahead of you, frustrated. Life can feel like that too. You see people around you getting married, starting families, getting promoted, living the life you thought you'd have by now. And you start to ask, did life forget about me? But I need you to hear me clearly. Delayed doesn't mean denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. You're not being overlooked, you're being prepared. Because sometimes the blessing is ready, but you're not. And sometimes you're ready. But the blessing isn't in position yet, so wait. But don't wait passively, wait actively. Keep growing, keep learning, keep becoming the person who's ready to handle the dream. Because when the door opens, you want to be prepared to walk through it. Your pain has purpose. Listen, I don't know what pain you're carrying, but I know this. It's not pointless. Every tear you cried, every sleepless night, every disappointment, it's building something in you. Strength, depth, empathy, wisdom. Some of the most powerful people you will ever meet are the ones who have been through hell and came back with a message. People who didn't let their pain define them. They let it refine them. You've been through too much to quit now. You didn't come this far to just come this far. There is more ahead of you. But here's the truth. You can't fast forward through the pain. You have to feel it, move through it, let it change you. And then you rise, wiser, stronger, clearer. Because pain isn't the end of the story. It's just the fire that forges the future version of you. Do you want proof that there's still a plan for you? You're still here. You woke up today. You've survived every single worst day of your life. You've made it through things that once felt impossible. That's not an accident. You're still here because your story isn't finished. You may not know what the next chapter looks like. You may not know how it ends, but I promise you, this isn't the end. It's just the in-between. You haven't seen your greatest victories yet. You haven't loved with your fullest heart yet. You haven't laughed your biggest laugh yet. There are days ahead of you that will make you grateful you kept going. So, don't give up just because you can't see the whole picture. God has a plan for you, even when you can't see it, especially when you can't see it. So, here's what I want you to do. When it's dark, walk anyway. When it's unclear, trust anyway. When the door closes, breathe and wait for the right one. When you fall, get up again. You may not understand everything right now, but you don't have to. You just have to take the next step, because you're not lost. You're being led. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. You're not forgotten. You're being guided by a plan greater than you can imagine. Even in the confusion, even in the waiting, even in the pain, there is purpose in this season, and there is hope for what's coming. So, don't stop now. You're closer than you think. When you can't trace the hand, trust the heart. When you can't see the path, trust the purpose. And when you feel like giving up, remember, the plan still stands, even if you can't see it.